Hey, Steven here with CGBreakdown. I wanted to show you guys quickly the muscle system that Victor set up in our rigs. It's pretty easy to use, but there's a couple things you probably want to know what it can do and how you can modify it. So I thought I'd show you a shot that I'm working on right now, which is this Tyrannus character. So I'll show you right here on the placer control is where you get the muscle attributes right here. So if we just zoom in here right now and you look at like the calf muscle here, for instance, there's not a lot of, there's no muscles right now. This is just what you're getting with the basic blend shapes and deformations. It's pretty static. So if you turn on the master jiggle, then you can start to see how the muscles react to the steps right there. And if we turn on the controls, so these blue squares that show, these blue cubes, those are the muscle controls. So you can see those bounce around as the muscles move. So that gives you kind of a visual representation of what the muscle is doing. When it comes to the attributes of what you can change, so the ones you want to look for are jiggle amp. So that acts as an amplifier for all of these attributes. And then these attributes are just what they seem. They are jiggle X is how much it's going to move up and down in X, and then Y and Z. So you can play around with those. We've tried to set them to a pretty basic kind of default values, but you're free to change them if you find that you can get a better result. These guys down here are taken straight from the Maya muscle attributes, and they do the same thing. So if you want to read up on what these attributes do for Maya muscle, they'll have the same effect here. But we're not going to go into that right now. So you can adjust the settings here on the overall effect of the muscle. You can also translate the muscles. So if you wanted to, you could add animation on top of the jiggle that's already there. So for instance, I think later on in here, I have some animation of the neck that I wanted to change. Is this it maybe? Let's see. Yeah, so you can see this is something I wanted to tackle a bit. You can see right now the muscle's moving a bit when he starts moving his neck, but he's roaring right now, so I wanted to get more of a vibration in there. So what I can do, since the vibration is kind of erratic, I could try amping everything up here over a short period and then animating it back down. But it's still kind of automatic and based on movement, and he doesn't have a lot of movement in his joints here. I want the motion to be as if it's the air traveling through his throat that's causing the vibration. So that would be kind of tough with these attributes. So I'm going to actually animate on top of it. So, I can go to here and just set keys on the translations. And one thing I want to do is maybe do some side to side first, some overall side to side. So, I might go here and just move it out just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. And then go to here, just pull it a little bit. So you kind of get a little more side to side through there. And let me just do this a couple more times. Okay, so now we have some Z back and forth, just a little bit. But the big attribute I'm going to want is the Y, getting it to go up and down a bit. So for that, I'm going to just go every 3 to 4 frames. Maybe I'll start a big one because that one seems to have a pretty big up and down right there. So I'll go right here. Yes, just so you get a little bit more. And I'm just going to run through this really quickly and do the same thing. So there we go. So now if I scrub through it, I'm getting a lot more vibration on top of that. So it can be pretty subtle, but it's going to add to the effect of air traveling through his throat. So that's just a few things you can do with the muscle system we have set up. Yeah, I'd suggest playing around with it. It actually does add a lot to the final look, especially when you see, a lot of the muscles moving around here and around the throat. So most of our characters that have muscles will have a very similar setup here. So there you go. Give it a try, and happy animating.